John, the Jets have lost 9 of 11 games now. How are they handling this slump and their subsequent fall in the standings?
Well, Glenn, Rick Bowness sort of summed it up when he said that he felt that the game against the Wild was one of the Jets' best games of the season. He was basing that on just how much they outshot, outchanced, dominated the Wild at 5-on-5 in terms of scoring chances, high danger chances. Power play, didn't score again. That's been a real cause for concern. However, the fact of the matter is, if you take a look at both games this week, the Jets against the Sharks on Monday, same thing. They outchanced and outshot the Sharks, but they found a way to lose in the latter stages of that game in regulation and then in overtime. So it's been a familiar pattern this week. But the thing is that for Rick Bowness and the players to be speaking in these terms where they feel like they will come out of it, they're getting chances, they're getting their opportunities, they just have to bury them. Time is running out. They only have 17 games left in the season, and the way that they're talking is sort of in the moral victories territory. But at this point, it's like, well, do you give in or do you keep going? And they're choosing the positive way. But having said that, it's like, well, you got to start winning some games pretty quickly because the Jets have a very tenuous hold on the second wild card spot. Calgary is breathing down their necks, only 4 points behind. And then you got Nashville, their Central Division opponent, who is a few points back, but with several games in hand against the Jets. And so really, they are in a very tenuous position. They're trying to get their game together, but they aren't getting the results. And even, Connor Hellebuck, who has been the Vezina Trophy candidate for the first half of the season, he heard it from the crowd on Wednesday night. He made a routine save about midway through the game after giving up the third Minnesota goal, which is a 5-hole on an unobstructed shot. And that was clearly a goal that Connor Hellebuck should have had. The fans gave it to him with a sarcastic cheer not long after that, after making a routine save. And so Rick Bowness said, yeah, Hellebuck is going to work this out. He had been the team's MVP for the better part of the season. In fact, the Jets probably wouldn't be in a playoff spot at this moment had it not been for Hellebuck playing the way he did for the better part of the campaign. And so all parts of the game, of the Jets game right now, they are trying to find their groove, but time is running out, but they certainly do recognize the urgency of the situation.
Yeah, so they're trying to stay positive, talking the talk, but like you said, eventually you got to back up that talk. And now the Jets face a pretty challenging schedule on the road for 8 of their next 10. Do you get the sense, John, that this next stretch here is kind of make or break for the season for Winnipeg?
Oh, 100%, Glenn. If you take a look at the first handful of games, they have Florida and Tampa back-to-back on the weekend. They play the Metropolitan Division leading Carolina Hurricanes next Tuesday. Then they come home to face the Bruins on Thursday, then head out on the road again for back-to-back games next weekend, the first one of which is in Nashville. The aforementioned Predators, who are sort of lurking close within striking range of the Jets. And so the first 5 games of this 10-game stretch, that could be a real make or break, because if they don't pick up a win or two, they're going to be digging themselves an even bigger hole depending on what happens behind them. And things are complicated by the fact that Bowness announced after the game that Pierre-Luc Dubois will not be traveling with the team to Florida. He may join the team later in the road trip. That's the hope. But the fact is that it was revealed that he suffered an upper body injury on Monday against the Sharks. And so this coming after he missed 3 games last week due to a lower body injury, something that's been nagging him for the last little while. And the team went 1-1-1. So the way the Jets are struggling right now, and now missing their number 2 center on a very difficult road trip with Boston here 8 days away, looming on the horizon. It's a very tough stretch for the Jets. And again, yeah, I mean, the 10 coming up, it really is a make-or-break stretch for them, Glenn.
Yeah, the Jets with this loss on Wednesday fall to 0-3 against Mini this year. They'll have one more shot at them, but that's not until the second-last regular season game. Let's hope those are still 2 meaningful points on the line. Thanks for this, John.